Hi everyone. Today we're going to create a photo book. It's fun and it's easy, and I've done several of these as either gifts to people, perhaps a wedding album. I've done them as vacation souvenirs, and today I'm going to be doing a review of my work in 2019. I've used Photobook Canada on all of these projects, and I've been very pleased with their service, the quality of the books, and there's lots of deals to be had. You can check the site on a regular basis. Let's try what's on special today. And let's see, here's softcover books with 40 pages, up to 74% off. If you go in here, you'll find a choice of different books, 8x6 small landscape softcover, 8x8, 8x11, so on and so forth. If you click on any one of these, there we go, you're now buying for $12 a photo book, which will come to you at 67% off. And what you get is this book over here. Option 4, I think, is the one we selected. And you got to be very careful on the things. 8.5 by 11 medium. So 8.5 by 11, or 8 by 11, I should say, medium portrait. And that one's portrait. Okay, good. So you really have to pay attention to these because you're buying a specific voucher. This voucher is good till the 30th of September. So, you typically buy a voucher with enough lead time for you to create your book. And it's the day that you check out and submit the book for printing that is important, not when you start the book or choose to finish it, but it's when you actually do the order that you enter your voucher. So, I've actually got some vouchers right now. My voucher is, here we go, an 11 by 8.5 medium landscape image wrap premium lay flat hardcover photo book with 24 pages. So the lay flat books are very nice in that you can open the book and there's no gutter or seam down the middle. So an image can look really good. Even though it stretches across pages. So that's the one I'm going to aim for. So I'm going to open up the product itself, and it's here. And it'll go out and check to see if there's any updates, and you can create a new project. I'll just click that for a moment. And I'm looking for a photo book. You can buy all kinds of other photo gifts, stationery, home decor, prints, cups, calendars, that kind of stuff. Just waiting for the photo book to open. Oh, I selected photo book. Now next. And now I'm looking for hardcover or softcover books. There's proof books, professional books. So remember exactly what you selected. Next. And mine was, come on. There we go. So mine was 8.5 by 11. So come down here. 8 by 11, 8.5. See, here's an 11 by 8.5 medium landscape debossed hardcover. That's not quite the right name. Medium landscape softcover. 8.5 by 11 landscape image wrap. This looks close. 8.5 by 11 medium landscape image wrap. Doesn't say lay flat. Let me go back to this one. Whoops. And come back here. 8.5 by 11. See, this says medium. This one doesn't say medium. So you kind of wonder if that's the same thing. And then it says image wrap premium. This one doesn't say premium. Lay flat. Lay flat. Hardcover, this is hardcover, photo book, 24 pages. So this is the one I believe is going to be the right one. If you pick the wrong one and build the whole book, when you get to the end and you go to pay, you apply your voucher and it says, oh, sorry, this voucher can't be used for that book. And you either have to pay full price and ignore your voucher, or you have to start rebuilding your book from scratch. I find that very frustrating. I wish they would consistently make these names the same, or give this book some sort of a style 18B, and over here's a style 18B, and you know exactly what you were doing. But I've done this a couple times, and as a result, I've gotten a degree of confidence that I'm usually doing the right thing, but it's tricky. So I'm going to do a 2019, year in review, and that's just an arbitrary name for the project. And what it does is it opens up a piece of software, and this is something I downloaded from their website, of course, and it's free. So once it gets opened up, you will see that you can import some pictures. We'll do that in a second. So it's laid out the book with some pages. So this is going to be the front cover, and in image wrap means the picture will overflow the edges, and then this part will be folded over. So the picture goes right over the edge of the book. And second page that's suggested has an overall image, and see how it goes over the edge here. So this image would flow over the center of the book. And here's another page layout, and it gives you all of these page layouts. Now you can change all of this, right? You can turn around and you can say, oh, I don't want this layout over here. I'm going to go get this style, and I'm just going to put it over here. And now you have two small square images here and two portrait images there. And you go to the next page, and this is a whole page, one image spreading right across the entire book. And the next one that's suggested is this one. And again, these are just arbitrary pages, but you have a whole bunch of different styles. You can get 4 images per page. You can get 5 pictures per page. You can get a double spread that looks something like this. And you can get a spread that looks like that, and so on. So let's go get some pictures. And I'll just go to my computer and I'll go get a folder. And I'll just say, go get a folder full of images. Now this is what I usually do, is I put all my images into a specific folder ahead of time. And let me just go and get my image drive, digital images. I put it in my 2019 folder. And these are my 2019 highlights. And I ended up creating a number of different folders: editorial, dance, fitness, glamour, beach shoots, portraits, etc. So I can just go get the editorial folder and say select, and it goes and selects all of these images and just imports them all. So I can go back to the very first page, my cover, and I can grab, let's say, and just looking at the possible images, I'll take this one here, drop it in, and voila. You'll see this portion of the image won't show, this portion won't show, this portion won't show, because it's within the red line. So it's that extra image size is going to wrap around. And then, I don't know, I can put this image on the back in this area. I can delete this one, just get rid of it, and maybe even change the back style. I'm actually just going to take this picture and just make it bigger. And do something like that. And if I don't want the back to be white, I can maybe change the color of the background. And that would be my back cover. And if I want to put a little text at the bottom, I can do something like this. Photos by Giovanazzo. And let's make this box a little bit bigger. Oops. So it all fits. And if I want to, one way of centering things might be, there's a lot of different ways of doing things, but I'll just run the box from there to there. There we go. I'm not sure what was happening. And I can enter a title here that says, 2019, whoops, 2019 review. And, oops, select that, make the font a whole bunch bigger. I'll make the color, I don't know, magenta. Nah, that doesn't look right. Now I can actually make it a custom color if I want. I can come over here, pick any of these colors, or I can say other, and then you get a whole bunch of things you can select. Maybe something like that, maybe a brown. Okay, I'm not going to fuss with it just for the sake of saving you time. And I've now got my front cover in place. This font doesn't actually appear. It's just telling you this is the front cover, this is the back cover. So that's not actually going to appear on the text. If you're really concerned about it, you can always delete it. Click on this and get rid of it. And then the same type of thing. You go to the next page, it says, please be ensured that all critical stuff is within the line. So this little edge, blue line, if the picture bleeds beyond that, this is going to be probably where the cut comes down. And so if you have a fingertips or something extending beyond that line, then it might not show. So I can take any image and drop it into this area. Let's go back over here. And let's see. Okay, let's just drop that in here. So I just dropped the picture in there, and this is how the picture lines up. I get a little warning that says, hey, you've got a very large image, a very large area, and your picture is not quite enough to high enough quality. So I exported these as 2000 by 2000, but if I go to Lightroom and I look at my images, my image was 3000 by 4000. And I could find the same image that we were just looking at, and you see it's 3000 by 4000, but when I exported it as 2000 by 2000 because I had actually exported it for a slideshow. So the ideal is export them as large as you can, so that way you don't have any problems printing. But I'm not planning on filling up images that big, so I'm just going to leave that alone for now. I'm actually going to change the style of the page to a page style with, let's see, let's just do something like that. And so now you see the image 2000 by 2000 is good enough quality to fit. And that's what I'm going to put on this page. And let's go to two picture boxes and go to, let's say, something like that on this page. And I can take this picture and put it there. And I can take, let's say, actually, I'll substitute. I'll put this one there and put that one there. And had I dragged it, I'm now dragging the frame and not the picture. So Control Z. So you're given these frames, and if you drag the frame, you're moving the frame. If you put a picture in it and you drag it, then again you're dragging the frame. But what you really want to be doing is just putting photo in there, and then notice this picture is now used once, this one's not used at all. If I reverse it, this one's used once and this one's not used. So you can always tell what's been used. So I can put pictures in their place, and everything seems to fit nice. Now this photo will be cropped in order to fit the box. I can double click on it and you can see, oh, I want to get it up to here, but I'm still missing a piece of it. So I can hit OK, and I can say, well, you know what? I'd rather have the box resized to fit the picture. So I can say Fit, Box to Photo, and now I can move this box around, and it fits fine. If it doesn't fit, I can always hit the Shift key and reduce the size of the box proportionally and move it around, something like that. If I'm not sure where to position it, I can just say align the picture vertically, page center, and it just exactly fits it, with the right amount of space at the top and the bottom. And let's just drop another photo in here somewhere. Let's see, something vertical, maybe this one over here, and so on. Now you can put your pictures individually in every box, and that's typically what I do, but just so you know, there's an auto flow capability. If I hit auto flow, it's going to start with the first picture that's unused and drop it in place, then the next picture that's unused, and it'll just fill up all the boxes one at a time. So whoops, I added a frame. I didn't mean to do that. I wanted to hit this auto flow, and off it goes. It's thinking about it, adding pictures, click, 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 and it's just flowed everything into various spots. If I don't like something, I can always come back and substitute again. And let's find something. Let's say this one is a horizontal. That looks like a horizontal style frame. I'll just do that. Now, if I double click again, it's not quite fitting, right? So I can turn around and I can fidget with it and try to make this frame a little bit bigger this way and a little bit bigger that way. Or I can just say take the frame and again fit the frame to the photo and center it. And now I have to take the whole thing and make it a lot smaller. See, if I leave it here, it'll flow off the page at this edge. I'm just going to bring it right to the edge and do something like that. Now, as you move pictures up and down, as you move it up, all of a sudden it goes, oh, that is now aligned with the top of this picture. If I move it down, oops, right around here somewhere, it says that's centered at the bottom that's centered on this page. I'm just going to hit the arrow key here and move it over a bit. So you can certainly move things around and get things in various places. And I'm just going to move this down here. Now this is black, that's black. Let's change the background to black. And again, sometimes I find it hard I'm just going to move to this page here. So let's say this one also looks black to me. I mean, these two look very similar, but if you drop it in here, you see that it's actually got some sort of a stripe pattern. And you can move any of these backgrounds in place and make this as fancy as you want. I just tend to use simple white or black backgrounds. And now here's an image that's quite bright compared to all the others. So I might want to pick up something that's a little different, maybe something like that. And I know these are all kind of superhero type things. That's probably not a good photo to put in. And I'm just going to reach down here and see what else I have. This is maybe a little bit better. Something like that. Anyways, so I can go through the whole thing and you'll see that every page is filled up. I can review it, make sure it's the way I want it, double click on this, and again, it's not quite fitting nicely. But it's fairly wide, so I can reduce the width. Now if I double click on it, I can certainly fit this a little bit better. Maybe something like that would work. Okay, so I can do that, and then in this big area here, I can create a text box and come over here and say, you know, these are photos I took during 2019, etc., and put whatever text I want in there. This is a note to tell you that this product should be ordered with 24 pages or more. If you do add more, add 2 pages at a time, left and right. So you can add a page and make it 26, 27, etc. I'm just going to add a page here. Here we go. Where do I'm looking for where I add pages. Page. Add to end. Okay, so now I have 23, 24, 25, 26. So I've just added 2 extra images, and then again I could pick a page style that I want here. Let's go to double spreads, and I can put, you know, this spread down here. So I'm actually going to say Control Z, undo that, and undo this. So I have exactly 24 pages. So this should match my coupon. If I have more pages than my coupon allows, that's okay. It'll just be a little surcharge for the extra pages. That's about it for now. What I'm going to do is switch this out. I'm not going to save this. I'm just going to say close. And I won't save it. And no, I don't want to update anything right now. I'm just going to open an existing project. And you can see I have my Costa Rica here, and I actually tried printing it once, and then I wasn't very pleased with it because a lot of my pictures were quite dark. So I brightened the images and reprinted it. I did something for Peru. I did a little test there with junk. I did a baby book for my daughter, and I did this 2009 review, and I opened it. I'll open it up. Okay, so I've opened up the book, and this is kind of where I landed. I put the same picture that I showed you in this place. I put this one on the back cover. For the next page, I put in these two images, so you'll see this one kind of lands here, but it's black, and then this one actually lands a little bit on top of it. But the two of them are going to blend very nicely. And then I'm just going to go over here, and then I put these three pictures together, kind of a theme. So when you flow automatically, you don't always get the pictures you want in the right place. So I ended up substituting the styles on various pages and bringing the right pictures in. And this is where I ended up with this one, and that one, and so on. Now, if you want to see it in preview mode, you just click this button, and it shows you the front and back cover. And I actually added a little bit of text to my spine, because when I've got a number of these on a library shelf, I want to be able to tell what books I have. So this is the next page, and the next page. And because it's a lay flat book, I don't worry too much about this area. I don't usually have a face or anything right on the margin. You see a slight little indentation in the book, but nothing very significant at all. Bunch of dance images. I put a whole bunch of superhero images together on this page, and some pinup stuff, some fantasy stuff, a couple of portraits, and a few more images, and that's it. So once I've got all of that in place, I can turn around and I can say order the book. And it tells me once you've uploaded these images, you can't change it. So you need to know that, I've read the disclaimer, and once I know I've uploaded all of this, then it is what it is. So I can hit start, connects to the server, it waits for the browser to open. Okay, so it's telling me here's my book, 2000 review, it's this style of book, etc., etc. I'm going to go back here and grab my voucher code, copy, come over here, Photobook, apply that, try to redeem it, and it says great. So this voucher covers the book, final price is $0. I can apply that voucher, and I'll still have to pay for shipping, which has usually been about $20 or so Canadian to receive the book in Ottawa, and I usually get it within about 7 to 10 days after I've placed my order. So that's it for now. Really, you start with your selection of images. You go to, you export them all. Once I exported all of these images, by the way, I exported them into a bunch of folders, and then I sorted them into creative, dance, fitness, glamour, beach, portraits, so I could import a bunch of images, put them in the right spot, take the dance, put them in the right spot, fitness. So I don't have a bunch of images and I'm sorting through this, oops, I'm going to go back over here. I don't want to be sorting through this thing in alphabetical order. I'd rather import them in blocks, and then that way you have them a little bit better organized. Once I've uploaded the order and everything's done, then it's going to come back here and prompt me to actually do a physical upload. And then it uploads every one of these images in high resolution to their servers so that they can do the final production and the book printing. So hopefully that was useful. I've been very pleased. I just have to watch. I don't have a color calibrated monitor, so I make sure that some of my images are nice and bright. If I see an image looks a little bit on the dark side, then I may take it into develop module and say, if this were to print and it's always printing a little bit darker, I just take about one stop off of the thing and I bring it down. Come on. And I see whether or not I'm happy with it. And if I see that the hair, for instance, is blending too much with the background, I may in fact take this image and just bring it up just a touch. And in that way, I'm happier with the final results in terms of the final printing. Thank you very much, and we'll see you the next time I do a video.